How do you test financial compatibility with a partner? And is that something you could change about a person?
You can present someone the option to change, and then they decide to change, but you can't change other people on anything. All I can do is present an idea, and then you decide if you're going to pick it up or not. You know, the way we've taught it on the air for years is the data tells us that if you can agree on 4 things prior to marriage, the probability of you still being married 40 years later is very high. If you can agree on your money, because when you agree on how money's going to be handled, you're agreeing on your fears, you're agreeing on your anxieties, you're agreeing on your dreams, you're agreeing on your values, because money flows to those things. So if you can agree on your money, it's very important. Mm-hmm. If you can agree on kids, how many we're going to have, how are we going to raise them, are we going to manage the children, or are they going to manage us? You know, that kind of stuff. In-laws, crazies in the family, because every family's got crazy in it. And if you don't think there's crazy in your family, it means it's you. And so, so anyway, you got to deal. How are we going to have boundaries? In other words, and then the fourth is be in agreement on religion. If we're going to be atheists, then let's be in agreement about that. If we're going to be Christian, it's very few cross religion marriages end up making it long term, because again, it's a value system thing.
Sure.
It's it's how you live your life, your decision making paradigm comes out of your value system, and so that ends up there. So the data says if you agree on those 4 things. So once I know that, and by the way, number 1 cause of divorce is money problems and money fights. If I know that and I'm dating, then it becomes very important if we're going to get married that we're compatible, or that we at least agree prior to marriage. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now you could start out and be going, in the case of Rachel tells the story of Winston taking her out on their first date, and he used a credit card to buy the pizza. And so you don't throw Winston away because he used a credit card in the Ramsey family, right?
Did she want to?
Yeah. He bought the pizza. It's his problem, right? And so that's what's necessary. But someone explained to Winston later on, that's Dave Ramsey's daughter. Used a credit card. You're a moron. It made fun of him, and then it became a funny thing later. But we, that's not an indication that we're not compatible on one date. It just said, okay, there's a thing there that the Ramseys don't use credit cards, so we got to talk about this ahead of time, and we got to decide how we're going to do that. So typically you don't want to be the same. Like my wife is a saver and I'm a spender. My wife is a scarcity person and I'm an abundance person. So risk, I'm much heavier risk tolerance than she has. And you need that balance, that counterbalance. And Larry Burkett used to say, if 2 people just alike get married, one of you is unnecessary. So you don't want to be just alike, but you do need to have a value system. Like if you detest, for instance, in our case, detest being in debt, you can't stand it, and you marry somebody who just is going to borrow all the time, you're going to have a problem. Hello. I mean, no kidding. Mm-hmm. And so, or you like to have a plan and know where things are going, and the other person refuses to participate in that, you're going to have a problem. But there's other stuff going on there that beneath the surface anyway. It's more than just the money. The money's just revealing it.